I've been using the iPhone 15 Pro for about 2 years now, and this past week I've been testing the iPhone 17 Pro right next to it. Not in a lab, not with elaborate equipment, but the way I think most of us usually actually use our phones. Taking photos on walks, filming short clips for social media, using maps, texting, and capturing those random little moments throughout the day. The goal wasn't to measure numbers, it was to see how the 17 Pro really compares to the 15 Pro in everyday life. And after a full week of using both phones side by side, switching between them constantly, I noticed a quite few differences that don't always show up on spec sheets. So in this video, I want to go through everything that actually matters: the design, size, the display, battery life, performance, and of course the camera, which is probably the biggest reason most people consider upgrading. Here's my full breakdown of the iPhone 15 Pro versus the iPhone 17 Pro and whether the upgrade is truly worth it. The first thing I noticed when switching back and forth between those two phones is how different they feel, even though they looked similar at first glance. The iPhone 15 Pro introduced that titanium frame and it still feels modern, lightweight, clean, and very minimal. The edges have that soft matte texture that feels smooth but not slippery, and the whole phone just has a balanced, refined vibe. The iPhone 17 Pro, on the other hand, feels more intentional. Apple redesigned it with an aluminum unibody and a new ceramic shield. The edges are more rounded, and the camera area is reshaped. Instead of a bulky bump, it's more like a plateau. It sounds like a small detail, but when you actually hold it, your fingers rest on it in a way that makes shooting photos feel more natural and stable. The 17 Pro feels more like a tool made for people who use their camera a lot. The 15 Pro feels lightweight and almost delicate in comparison, but in a good way. Both are premium, but the design language is different. The 15 Pro is elegant, the 17 Pro is practical premium. When it comes to colors, the 15 Pro stayed very classic with its titanium palette: black, white, blue, and natural. They are subtle, polished, and very neutral, which works for a lot of people. The 17 Pro color lineup feels a bit more expressive: silver, deep blue, and cosmic orange. Deep blue is safe and modern, silver is clean and simple, and cosmic orange sounds bold. It's surprisingly sophisticated. It's the kind of color that feels like a limited edition designer item, understated but with personality. If you prefer muted tones like I do, the 15 Pro colors still look great. If you want something different and maybe a little bit more stylish, the 17 Pro colors stand out. Switching between both phones make you notice the weight difference immediately. The iPhone 15 Pro is lighter, noticeably lighter, and if you're used to phones feeling sleek and easy to hold, you will love that. It's great for long texting sessions or when you're holding the phone above your face in bed, and for vlogging, your arm definitely gets tired less quickly. The iPhone 17 Pro is heavier, but not in a bad way. The extra weight actually helps stabilize your shots when filming or taking photos. It feels denser, like a solid device designed to handle more demanding tasks. If you want the lightest, most comfortable Pro phone, the iPhone 15 Pro is perfect. If you want something that feels more camera-centric and stable, the 17 Pro wins. Now both phones have beautiful displays, and for most everyday tasks, you won't notice a huge difference. But there are a few subtle improvements on the 17 Pro that add up. The iPhone 15 Pro has a 6.1-inch ProMotion OLED display, bright, sharp, and great for editing photos, watching videos, or reading. The iPhone 17 Pro bumps that up slightly to 6.3 inches. It's not a drastic change, but when you're framing a photo or editing a quick clip, the extra space is really nice, and the bezels are a little bit thinner. The screen also gets brighter outdoors, which helps when you're shooting in direct sunlight. Both have 120 Hz, both have great color accuracy, but the 17 Pro feels a little bit more immersive and easier to use outdoors. Battery life is one area where the 17 Pro definitely surprised me. On the 15 Pro, battery life is good, especially compared to older models. But if you film a lot or open the camera frequently, you will notice the percentage dropping faster, especially later in the day. With the 17 Pro, I consistently ended the day with more battery left, even on heavy use days. It handles camera use better, it handles video better, and even basic apps seems to drain less. Charging is also faster, which is always nice. If battery life matters to you, especially if you record video, the 17 Pro has a noticeable edge. In terms of everyday performance, both phones are fast. Opening apps, switching between tasks, scrolling, everything feels smooth and responsive on both devices. Where the difference becomes noticeable is in areas where the processor has to work harder. The 17 Pro handles photo processing faster, night mode a little bit more intelligently, long 4K recordings without getting as warm, and zoom transitions are more smoothly. There is a certain effortlessness to the 17 Pro when using the camera, editing photos, or opening large apps. The 15 Pro is still a powerful phone, and for most people it will continue to feel fast. But the 17 Pro feels like a meaningful step up if you use your phone for content creation. Okay, now for the camera, the part most people care about, and honestly this was the most interesting differences to test. I took both phones with me everywhere for a week and shot with them side by side. Daylight, low light, indoors, outdoors. The whole week was just capturing little moments and comparing how each phone handled them. Here's everything I noticed. Both phones use a 48 megapixel sensor, but the 17 Pro has a newer, more advanced version. In bright daylight, the 15 Pro looks fantastic. Clear, crisp, very Apple. The 17 Pro adds more depth, more natural contrast, and more texture. Photos from the 17 Pro looks less like iPhone photos and more like something from a proper camera. Skin tones maybe look more realistic, colors look less boosted, and you get more dynamic range. But other than that, both phones are taking very good photos. Now when it comes to low light, this is where the 17 Pro shines. The 15 Pro often brightens shadows too much or adds noise reduction that smooths detail. The 17 Pro keeps detail sharper and colors more accurate. It handles dark scenes more gracefully and avoids that overly bright night mode look. You end up with more mood, more texture, and more realistic lighting. When it comes to ultra-wide camera, in good lighting both phones produce similar results, but in low light the difference becomes clear. The 17 Pro preserves way more detail, especially around edges and textures. The 15 Pro tends to soften or blur low-light ultra-wide shots. If you shoot landscapes, architecture, or indoor groups, the 17 Pro is better, I think. Now onto the zoom. This was one of the biggest real-world upgrades. The 15 Pro has a 3x optical zoom, and the 17 Pro has a 4x optical zoom, plus more optical quality range up to 8x. This makes a huge difference when you're trying to get tighter shots from far away. With the 15 Pro, 3x looks good, 4x is still okay, beyond that, things start to look smudged. With the 17 Pro, 4x is sharper, 5x still looks good, 6 to 8x is still usable I think. For travel, concerts, pets, portraits, buildings, the extra zoom is incredibly helpful. To test the portrait mode, I actually didn't take photos of people this time, I used a stuffed gorilla. And honestly, stuffed animals are great subjects because of their texture and consistent shape. In daylight, both phones captured clean portraits, but when zooming in, the 15 Pro softened the fur slightly. The 17 Pro held onto much more texture. The difference becomes even more noticeable in low light. The 17 Pro produces portraits with less grain, better colors, and more natural background blur. Neither phone completely replaces a real camera, but the 17 Pro gets a lot closer. Now when it comes to selfies, I didn't take many selfies during this test, almost none, but based on the few I did take plus everything seen from the rear camera comparisons, the 17 Pro does a bit better job with skin tones, low light selfies, and color accuracy. If you take a lot of selfies for Instagram or stories, you'll notice a little bit of improvement. If you shoot any kind of video at all, the 17 Pro is the bigger upgrade. The stabilization is smoother, steadier, and more natural. Dynamic range, the 17 Pro keeps highlights on the control better, especially outdoors. Skin tones look more accurate, less orange or overly warm. In low light, this is where the 17 Pro pulls ahead dramatically. Less noise, more detail, and better exposure control. Zooming while filming, this is a huge improvement. On the 15 Pro, zooming past 3x looks mushy. On the 17 Pro, zooming while filming actually looks good from 4x, 5x, or even 6x. For users who film travel videos, events, concerts, pets, this is the upgrade you will feel most immediately. If you only take casual shots, the 15 Pro is still an excellent camera. But if camera quality is a priority, the 17 Pro is a meaningful upgrade in nearly every way. Better low light, better zoom, better video, better stabilization, more natural colors, and more consistent results. It isn't one big jump, of course, it's a lot of small improvements that add up to a noticeably better experience. After a week of using both phones constantly, this is what stood out to me. The 15 Pro felt light, simple, reliable, like a comfortable everyday device. The 17 Pro felt more capable, almost like a compact camera with phone features built in. And every time I wanted to take a meaningful photo or video, I reached out for the 17 Pro to be honest. Every time I wanted something comfortable and lightweight, I reached for the 15 Pro. Both are great, but they give you different things. So should you upgrade? Here's my honest answer. You can upgrade from the iPhone 15 Pro to the 17 Pro if camera quality is your top priority, you take a lot of videos, you want a better zoom, want better longer battery life, you want a different design, and you want a phone that feels like it's built for content creation. You can stick with the iPhone 15 Pro if you're happy with the camera, your battery life is still good, you prefer a lighter phone, you don't film that much actually, and you want to save money. The iPhone 15 Pro is still an amazing phone and I'm still using it. The iPhone 17 Pro is the version made for people who really use their camera or just want the best, most polished experience possible. Both phones will last for years, but the 17 Pro feels like the one that's built to take you further, especially creatively. If this comparison helped you, feel free to like the video, subscribe, and let me know in the comments whether you're thinking about upgrading or if you're staying with the iPhone 15 Pro like I do. I'm curious which one you're leaning toward. And as always, thanks for being here and I'll see you in the next one.